The security line at Terminal B was crawling forward when it happened, a sharp voice cutting through the buzz of early morning travelers. "Sir, you cannot board with that case." Heads turned. A soldier stood at the front of the line, tall, still, presence like carved granite. His uniform was immaculate. The badge on his sleeve read, Tomb Guard, the Old Guard, 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment. He wasn't carrying luggage, just a single, hard-sided ceremonial case held with both hands as if it contained something sacred. The TSA officer stepped in front of him. "You'll need to open it." The soldier's jaw tightened, the first and only sign of emotion. "Ma'am, this contains the decorations of a fallen service member. I am under orders not to open it outside official custody." The officer crossed her arms. The supervisor walked over. Passengers began murmuring. And then, the tomb guard was told, "If you don't open the case, you're not getting on this flight." What happened in the next 8 minutes would bring the entire terminal to a standstill. The soldier's name was Sergeant Michael Reyes, part of the elite unit that guards the tomb of the unknown soldier 24/7 through hurricanes, sleet, and snow. He didn't raise his voice, didn't step forward, didn't threaten anyone. He simply repeated, "I'm escorting a fallen soldier home. I cannot break protocol." The TSA supervisor looked annoyed. "We have rules too, Sergeant. Open it or step aside." A nearby passenger, a gray-haired man with a Vietnam veteran hat, struggled to his feet, voice shaking. "He's not carrying a weapon. He's carrying honor." People began filming. Others whispered, "Why are they stopping a tomb guard? This isn't right." Still, the standoff continued. Reyes unmoving, TSA unrelenting. But then, the veteran approached the TSA checkpoint and said words that changed everything. "If you make him open that case, you'll be opening it in front of me, because that soldier he's escorting, he was my brother." Gasps rippled through the terminal. The veteran, Mr. Lane, wiped his eyes as passengers gathered around him in reverent silence. "My brother was listed as missing in action in 1971. We only found his remains this year. Sergeant Reyes is escorting the medals and the flag that will be laid on his casket tomorrow." The TSA officers froze. Reyes bowed his head respectfully. He hadn't known who the family was, only that he had been entrusted with the escort. The supervisor swallowed hard. His voice, moments before rigid and firm, softened. "Sergeant Reyes, we didn't know, sir." Reyes replied, "I understand, sir, but duty is duty." People in line stepped back, creating a path without being asked. A mother told her child, "Watch this. You'll never forget it." TSA called their director. The airport police arrived. Within minutes, a senior official from the airline rushed to the checkpoint. But the moment that hit every heart came when the veteran placed his trembling hand on the case and whispered, "Thank you for bringing him home." Reyes stood straighter, a tomb guard receiving words he considered too great an honor. Instead of challenging him further, TSA officers stepped aside. And then something extraordinary happened. Passengers, dozens of them, moved to line the walkway like an honor corridor. The TSA supervisor, who had initially confronted Reyes, stepped forward and said, "Sergeant, please allow us to escort you to the gate." Reyes nodded once, the disciplined, precise nod of a man trained for solemn duty. As he walked through the terminal, case held tightly, people removed their hats. Others placed hands over their hearts. Veterans saluted. Flight crews stood silently at attention. A woman began to cry. A businessman lowered his phone, choosing respect over recording. Every footstep echoed with the weight of 70 years, a fallen soldier finally coming home. By the time they reached the gate, even the airline captain stood waiting with tears in his eyes. "Sergeant Reyes," the captain said softly, "the first row is yours. and the seat beside you will remain empty in honor of the man you're escorting. Just before boarding, the veteran approached Reyes again. Tomorrow, at the funeral, he said, voice trembling, I'd be proud if you stood with us. Reyes's voice broke for the first time. Sir, it would be my honor. As he walked down the jet bridge, passengers remained silent, a silence more profound than applause. Before stepping on the plane, Sergeant Reyes turned to look at the gathered crowd. He didn't speak. He simply nodded, the respectful, timeless gesture of a tomb guard acknowledging the living on behalf of the fallen. The moment felt like a blessing, and as the plane pushed back from the gate, the captain announced, Ladies and gentlemen, we have a hero on board, and another who is finally going home. In the terminal, long after the plane disappeared, people still stood together, strangers united by a glimpse of solemn, unforgettable honor.